Coverage you can count on this morning starts now.
We are feeling the impacts from Tropical Storm Idalia all across the Carolinas this morning. Look up and down the Grand Strand just ahead and into the PD after the storm's aftermath. Coming up on News 13 this morning.
Then the cleanup begins to our south, where Idalia tore across Florida early yesterday morning. We'll take a first-hand look at the destruction just ahead.
We do have other stuff to get to. We're going to check in on our crime tracker where more arrests are announced now. This is in connection with a pretty big fight at a high school football game where shots were even fired.
Now your Storm Tracker 13 forecast first, sponsored by George Sink Injury Lawyers.
Good Thursday morning. Tropical Storm Idalia continuing to quickly move its way away from the Carolinas. Still some heavy rain up to the north of it, and still some bands wrapping their way through Horry, Georgetown counties. 60-mile-per-hour winds moving to the east-northeast at 21 miles an hour. And it will quickly move its way away for the day today. The rain is going to linger for a little while, and so are the breezy conditions. Viper 13 real-time radar shows a little shower around Hartsville and the rest of the area. As you can see, most of the rain is in Georgetown County and up to the north, wrapping its way around. We still have a tropical storm warning for the morning hours for east of I-95, including the border belt, for some potential for wind gusts up to tropical storm force. Right now we have 32-mile-per-hour wind gusts for the coast, 38 there for Laurinburg. You see that center of circulation just moving its way out of the area. Out overlooking Myrtle Beach, you see the tree blowing. It's a little bit breezy out there this morning. Temperatures are in the low 70s, and it's going to be a slow warm up today as we're going to see things gradually drying out. Temperatures mid 70s by lunch to around 80 this afternoon.
All right, we got a full team in this morning to track Idalia. Not only that, but looking at the aftermath too. I mean, James, later on in the day, it's actually not going to be too bad, but for now, right before the sun comes up, something to keep an eye on would have to be the flooding.
Yeah, exactly. It's best not to get out on the roads till the sun comes up because you don't know which roads are flooded, trees down, powers out in some areas, actually quite a few areas. And then we're going to see things gradually getting better throughout the day. The sun will come out this afternoon. The evening commute is going to be nice.
All right, not too bad. Thanks, James.
Thank you so much for joining us this Thursday morning. I'm Aaron Rohde.
And I'm Melissa Myers. First this morning, Tropical Storm Idalia is dumping lots of rain across our area as it moved its way through the Carolinas, flooding roads and kicking up the surf.
Our team coverage continues this morning up and down the Horry County coast and throughout the PD as well. First up, News 13's Taylor Maresca is live in North Myrtle Beach, where it has now been confirmed a tornado touched down last night. So Taylor, what's it looking like there?
Melissa, Aaron, we have rain, we have winds. It's actually picked up since we first got here around 4:30 this morning. Now you're right, a tornado was confirmed to touch down here by radars last night. And if you look behind me, you can see this house. The roof was completely blown off. You can see it was just completely cleared and flat now, but it's actually not the only one. If you take a look to the other side, you'll see another house here has its porch. You can see the railings from that porch have just completely come off. It's completely open now. So that is not these aren't the only two in the area either. A lot of houses here have sustained damage. Now take a look at this video. This is video our team got last night in this area shortly after the roof blew off that first house. You can see first responders taking a look at that damage. You can really see just how clearly that roof was blown off the home. We're waiting for it to get a little bit lighter outside here so we can show it to you again. Well, radars show that it was in fact a tornado that caused the damage last night. The National Weather Service will be coming down from Wilmington later today to determine just how strong the tornado was and what type it was. They'll probably be here sometime after the sun comes up, but keep in mind there's a lot of damage for them to assess as they work their way down the coast, so we don't know exactly what time they're going to get here. Now, people we spoke with in this area say it sounded like a freight train was coming through around the time last night that tornado hit here and that roof blew off. Now, stay with us. We're going to be keeping you updated and showing you this again once the sun comes up so you can get a clearer picture. Reporting live in North Myrtle Beach, Taylor Maresca, News 13.
All right, thank you, Taylor. News 13's Adriana Lawrence was in downtown Myrtle Beach just last night, and actually she's going to tell us what it was like overnight.
Tropical Storm Idalia hit late last night, and from downtown Myrtle Beach here, we saw a little bit of rain, but it was really the wind that was picking up throughout the night. We also saw some thunder off the coast here, and we also saw the ocean earlier in the night come up to the dunes, up to the hotels, but it subsided later in the night. This video you see was taken around 8 o'clock last night when we saw the king tide coming in right up to the hotels. Tropical storm Idalia was not as bad as Hurricane Ian last year when the ocean flooded into the hotel pools here. During this king tide, the dunes protected the hotels from the ocean moving in. As the storm rolled in, we also saw many people walking along the beach and sitting on their balcony. The wind really started to pick up later in the night, but we haven't seen much damage to the hotels in this area of 17th Avenue South. In downtown Myrtle Beach, Adriana Lawrence, News 13.
The rain was coming down hard last night in Myrtle Beach. Look at that right there. Here's a look at, this is at Family Kingdom Amusement Park. That's, of course, on South Ocean Boulevard. Right there, it looks like flooding. I'm pretty sure that's a video right there of Withers Swash, which runs right next to the park.
On the South Strand, News 13's Jackie Labrizzi was in Garden City, and she met some people who claim to be out chasing the storm.
Both lanes are blocked off due to flooding on Atlantic Avenue heading towards Highway 17. The flooding starts in front of Causeways and ends past the restaurant Sarah J's. Storm tracker meteorologist Frank Johnson says the winds in Garden City so far this evening have reached 40 miles an hour. He says this is due to a combination of the storm surge and the king tides. And a summer resident says he didn't have much of a choice to leave.
My car's in the shop, so I'm kind of a little bit stuck out, but you know, it's a tropical storm. It doesn't seem that severe, but some of the record winds they're talking about coming in could be dangerous, so I wouldn't advise being outside if you weren't familiar with this type of weather.
But Thomas Smith wasn't the only one who visited the pier this evening. A group of 4 local teenage boys who call themselves the Storm Chasers came looking to swim. They come to the beach every year there's a hurricane to see how Garden City is affected. The boys say they even will go swimming if the water isn't too rough, but they always wear their protective gear.
Basically, the fit for today is we got the motocross gloves, we got the motocross chest protector, we have the hard hat, we have the shiesty, well, the ski mask, and my rain boots and the jean shorts.
All the businesses on Atlantic Avenue are closed and are boarded up with sandbags, plywood, and plexiglass. Reporting in Garden City, Jackie Labrizzi, News 13.
News 13 on-time traffic, sponsored by Joy Law Firm. Just call Joy.
We'll take a look at your traffic flows Conway through Carolina Forest and up and down the Grand Strand. You are looking pretty good out there this morning. Again, not much traffic out. Suggest you stay in until the sun comes up and you can assess the damage out there because there's going to be some stuff in the roadways this morning. Got a 5-minute commute on 501 from 544 to Carolina Forest and 8 minutes on 17 for Mr. Joe White to 82nd Parkway. Traffic is flowing good for the PD and for the Border Belt. Same thing in and around Florence. Your drive time 6 minutes on 52 from Palmetto to I-95.
If you are headed out this morning, just be aware there are several streets in a lot of places that are closed. A lot of spots, crews haven't even been out to assess what it's like. We don't know if a road's even there. Cherry Grove, of course, a lot of streets closed there. North Myrtle Beach Fire Rescue says Sea Mountain Highway is limited access right now because of the flooding between the Marsh and Ocean Boulevard.
There are also some temporary closures along Ocean Boulevard and side streets through Crescent Beach and Ocean Drive. Officials say, of course, do not attempt to drive through flooded streets and roads or move any cones or barricades in place.
With the flooding we are experiencing all over our viewing area, people hundreds of miles away from the coast seeing flooding from this tropical storm. Just want to remind you of the dangers of floodwaters and why you should avoid it if you can. It's because of everything. Everything, animals to waste. CDC says floodwaters can contain many things that are pretty harmful, and that'll include stuff like power lines to human waste, livestock waste, and household or industrial waste. Going to also include germs and contaminants that lead to illness.
On top of that, there could be physical objects like vehicles, debris, and wild rodents or snakes. Exposure to floodwater can also cause infections in open wounds, skin rashes, and digestive illnesses. And of course, it's important to protect yourself from exposure to floodwater regardless of the source of contamination. The best way, of course, to protect yourself is to stay out of the water. If you do, however, come in contact, be sure to wash all your clothes with hot water and detergent and take care of wounds. Well, the storm caused some problems here in the eastern Carolinas, but nothing compared to down in Florida. We're going to take a look at the damage left behind coming up.
From WBTW, Aaron Rohde, Melissa Myers, and meteorologist James Hopkins. You're watching Number 1 News 13 this morning.
Look at Thursday morning. Tropical storm Idalia moving its way away from the coast of the Carolinas. 60-mile-per-hour winds moving to the east-northeast at 21 miles an hour. Will continue to move its way away from us as we go throughout the day today, and conditions for us will gradually get better as we go throughout your morning into the afternoon. Should hold that 60-mile-per-hour wind speed through this afternoon before gradually weakening just a little as we go throughout the day tomorrow and into the start of the weekend. Wind gusts still in the 30s for quite a few spots. 38 there for Laurinburg, 32 to 37 along the Grand Strand, even Marion and Florence, and the low 30s. So we're going to continue to see this through the morning hours with that rain still wrapping around the backside of Idalia as it moves its way out. It's actually just right off the southern part there, Southport, and it's going to be moving its way out as we go throughout the day. So heavier rain is now up in North Carolina, and that's where we had the tornado watch area gradually move its way to the north with it. So very heavy rain there, and there it is. There's your tornado watch area, still potential for that moving its way up and through North Carolina, and that front will help give it a little bit of a push as we go throughout the day today. So it is going to gradually get better for us as we go throughout the day. Once this moves its way out, we're looking really good actually for your holiday weekend. Looking nice this afternoon and this evening. Winds will be dying down, high pressure builds in for the weekend, and it's just going to be a great weekend. The chance for rain continues through the morning commute and possibly into midday. A better chance is going to be east of I-95 for the coast, but then we'll see it gradually clearing out through your afternoon. Should be dry for that evening commute, and then clear and comfortable overnight with lots of sunshine over the course of your weekend. So wind gusts could still potentially gust into the 30s, teens and 30s, up to 30s, especially along the coast, but that'll continue to slowly move its way out. Winds will die down as we go throughout your afternoon, evening, and for the overnight. Upper 70s, about 80 for the day today. Not a great beach day. We do have a high rip current risk and a high surf advisory. Winds are 20 to 30 miles per hour, but those will be dying down through the afternoon. Temperatures drop to low to mid 60s tonight, low to mid 80s with sunshine for the next few days.
Thanks, James. 14 minutes after 6 now. Idalia pretty much out of our area. First, though, it tore across Florida and part of Georgia. One person in Georgia died. 2 traffic deaths in Florida are being investigated now as possibly being storm-related. Luckily, where the storm hit, it's a pretty isolated area. CBS News' Christian Benavides in Cedar Key, Florida, now with the first-hand look at the destruction Idalia left behind.
Overnight, a weaker Idalia moved over the Carolinas, bringing heavy rain and storm surge flooding.
A lot of wind, a lot of rain, nothing too crazy, nothing what we really expected.
A similar scene in southern Georgia, where the storm's strong winds toppled this basketball net and snapped off tree limbs.
Unbelievable.
But in Florida, where Idalia first came ashore as a powerful Category 3 storm, there's a trail of destruction in coastal towns like Horseshoe Beach.
You want to live on the water, you gotta put up with it, you know?
This video captures the moment the historic storm surge demolished a home. Residents there are now surveying the damage.
What matters is what I'm holding right here, okay?
Cleanup efforts are underway around the state, including in Cedar Key. Here's where part of a motel used to stand. It's been wiped out. In Hernando and Citrus counties, first responders and the National Guard rescued stranded residents.
I lose everything, including my car.
The response has been swift and people are getting help.
As residents come to grips with the aftermath, crews continue to work to clear debris and restore power to tens of thousands of homes. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Cedar Key, Florida.
Check this out right here. Moment, a Florida home in the coastal town of Horseshoe Beach broke apart under the force of the flood waters. Investment bank UBS says that insured property losses in Florida were projected to hit $9.36 billion. Emergency services, including National Guard troops, were deployed in the wake of the storm that left a trail of debris and flooding all along the Gulf Coast of Florida. Check out your screen right here. Here's some extensive flooding on the banks of the Elafia River. That's in the Tampa Bay area. And you can see just so many different spots experiencing different things from this one storm. Coming up, some of the other news topping our local headlines when News 13 returns. It is local coverage you can count on.
And now, here's meteorologist Hannah Ronner with Viper 13 Real-Time Radar, sponsored by Morris Law Firm.
Welcome back. Time now is 6:19, and one of the main things that was associated with Idalia was, of course, the inches of rain that fell across the area. It didn't start out necessarily right off the gate with torrential rainfall. It was right around lunchtime and a little bit afterward that we began to see the first little bit of sprinkles, but we didn't start to get noticeable accumulation until the mid-afternoon, evening, and overnight hours. The two different colors just is representing yesterday and what we've seen so far today, which is really not much, but still Florence got nearly 4 inches of rain in just the last 24 hours or so. Myrtle Beach got rain a little bit sooner. We had a nice little batch of showers that rolled through the North Strand early in the mid-morning time. And then we get that very sharp uptick by the 2 o'clock or so during the afternoon. And still, we're leveling out now. The rain has definitely been light as we look at the radar this morning. But rainfall totals for the past 24 hours, nearly that 4 inches for Florence. But we can see all the purple, even the whitish colors. That's 5 to 7 inches. Kingstree, Marion, and Conway. A lot of rain in the past 24 hours. It was a little bit less on the coast, but still 3 inches of rain is going to be a record in Myrtle Beach. Florence, you broke your record as well. Yesterday, 3.8. The previous record was only 1.2, so we crushed that record. North Myrtle Beach also had a very significant record as well. 4.8, previous record was 1.4 from 2002. And then Lumberton, 3.5, previous record 2.05, but that record was very old from 1935.
All right, thanks, Hannah. Well, turning now to some of today's local headlines. A guilty plea and sentence for this Florence County man for sex trafficking minors. Jason Pope, also known as DJ Kid, pleaded guilty to 5 counts of sex trafficking of a minor, 5 counts of criminal sexual conduct with a minor, and 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct. The judge sentenced him to 19 years in prison. Prosecutors say all the crimes involved minors under the age of 18 and happened from 2017 to 2019. After Pope gets out of prison, he'll be on 5 years of sex offender probation. And the Georgetown Police Department announced more arrests in connection with a fight at last Friday's Georgetown High School football game. The 9 arrested include 5 Georgetown High School students, 3 Andrews High School students, and 1 teen who doesn't even attend a Georgetown school. Students range in age from 14 to 17. All 9 are charged with assault and battery in the 3rd degree. Now, authorities say a fight started inside the stadium during halftime. Another person was arrested this week in connection with shots fired outside of the stadium. And we now know the name of the person killed in a wreck in Horry County. Nicole Dunleavy was 35 years old and had recently moved to the Myrtle Beach area from Baltimore. Troopers say she was driving on Kates Bay Highway near Townsend Lane, just west of Conway, when she ran off the road, hit a ditch, and then a utility pole. The wreck remains under investigation. Well, new this morning from the Lowcountry, Alec Murdaugh has been convicted of 2 internal disciplinary charges in prison, including abuse of privileges and unauthorized use of an inmate's PIN number while booked. Murdaugh gave the information away during a legal call with his attorneys, which aren't recorded or monitored due to attorney-client privilege. A spokesperson for the South Carolina Department of Corrections says Murdaugh lost his phone and canteen privileges for the next 30 days. SCDC says he violated department policy, not of the law. As we head to break, here's a live look out over Georgetown. Coverage you can count on returns in 2 minutes.
And now, here's meteorologist James Hopkins with Viper 13 Real-Time Radar, sponsored by Morris Law Firm.
Good Thursday morning. Tropical storm Idalia still moving its way away from the coast of the Carolinas. 60-mile-per-hour winds moving to the east-northeast at 21 miles per hour. Still rain for our area east of I-95. Most of it is just in Horry County. See, back behind it is starting to dry up, and it will move its way away slowly throughout the day. 21 miles an hour is still pretty quick, but still going to see the showers slowly move out, and it will weaken as we go into the weekend. So right now, some wind gusts still in the 30s. 37 there for North Myrtle Beach, 32 Myrtle Beach, 33 Florence, and 38 up for Laurinburg. So still near tropical storm force winds. And you see the radar showing the shower activity circulating its way through. The good news is Marion, Florence starting to dry out. Lumberton just on the edge of it. You see a few more showers there, but most of the shower activity is going to be closer to the coast as that circulation wraps that back around. as Idalia slowly moves its way away throughout our morning hours. It'll take all the rain, the wind along with it, and the cloud cover. We're going to have sunshine returning this afternoon, and sunshine dominates as we go Friday and all the way through your holiday weekend with high pressure building in. So the rainfall forecast shows from Lumberton stretching down Marion and down towards Georgetown, where you're going to see the early morning shower activity through the morning commute. Gradually see it moving its way out. Lunchtime, still some showers left behind, but by the time we go through your mid-afternoon and that evening commute, drying out, clearing out, and the winds will be dying down as well. Overnight tonight, mostly clear, comfortable, and sunny and comfortable for your extended forecast. Wind gust forecast still in the 20s and 30s through that morning commute, and then as we get closer to midday, you'll see those dying down teens, 20s, and then overnight tonight continuing to die down even more. Upper 70s to about 80, maybe 82 today. We'll see 84 for your Friday, Saturday, 88, Sunday, back to 90 on Labor Day, but overnight lows in the low, then mid-60s. Then we heat up towards midweek next week. Same for the beaches, lots of sunshine, low to mid-80s through the weekend.
All right, thanks, James. Well, coming up in our headlines at 6:30, our team coverage continues in North Myrtle Beach, where a tornado touched down as Tropical Storm Idalia made its way across the Carolinas.
And already, South Carolina officials are reflecting on the steps they took to get ready for the storm. They helped get all of us ready just ahead.